Rabbit here. Hope you also like to keep your Raspberry Pis happy. I also like to do that. So let's look at a few things that one can do to actually improve their situation. So, hot days, we have 20 Celsius, which is actually quite warm for this time of year. And that has an impact on computing equipment, of course, because naturally we don't have air conditioning in the places where we have our equipment, so then it often gets quite hot. But anyway, this is usually the standard setup I have for a Raspberry Pi. So one has the typical plug into the wall European style connector, 2 amp power supply, and then just a simple, I usually do put them in a case, but the cases I've been using, historically speaking, are just these simple plastic cases. And if there's one thing I've noticed, that when I switch to using the 64-bit operating system, that I really don't think the 2 amp on the power supply is adequate enough anymore. And then also when it comes to the cooling, as we see, it's just free air cooling, so that's not really going to cut it. And the Raspberry Pis are extremely good at throttling when they get overheated, so it's very seldom do they actually stop completely working. But what happens is that they really throttle back on the performance. So how can we improve this situation? So the first step is to actually swap out the power, and then I go for a 2.5 amp power supply. This is a Raspberry Pi 3, so it should be good enough. So just upgrade that, and then the next step is to introduce a new case. So here we have the case. It looks like, so I opt for these metal cases with active cooling. And now the problem with this is that this is actually being sadly crushed in transport. So these are the two sides are jammed together. So I'm going to actually try and separate these, because they're not really intended to be like that. So let's see how this will go. Jammed together quite hard, but I did get them apart. So now I just got to actually check the dimension wise if it got twisted. I'd got a little bit of lost its paint or the anodizing. That doesn't look like it's supposed to, but I'll check it. So that was a bit tricky, but I was able to use this end plate as a guide, so to try and figure out what was the correct angle for the sides. So I think I got it. It's still a bit tight fit, but I think as soon as I put those in place, I think it'll be straightened out the way it's supposed to. I don't really want to get too aggressive with it. No, it looks okay. Seems like the idea with delivery services nowadays is that the more they can wrap, the better. There's hardly anything that gets delivered without being some damage. I got a box full of stuff that came that looked like the box had been used like as a throwing ball. Let's chuck this off the truck and chuck it into the truck, and just like it was absolutely completely messed up the whole outside of the box. Really sucks. So now it's just to follow the instructions. So I'll take the bottom plate and install this one. So And I'll get the screws in place. So, that's the main board. Let's see if I can get it in the camera. So that's the main board screwed in. Oh, let's see what the next procedure is. Oh, that's not nice. There's no indication in the instructions really which way around this should go, and there's no arrow indicating the airflow direction on this fan. So I'm going to install it like that. And, well, actually, if we look, would that give any kind of hint? No. There's not even anything in the screw holes that would indicate direction. So no rotation direction indicated, and no airflow direction indicated either. So pure guesswork, and the installation instruction is not giving any hint either. It just shows to put the fan in place. So anyway, I will choose to put it like that then. And then it's 4 long screws, and then I think it's these nuts. And then the screws go in through the top. Like that. And a bit of trickiness with nuts and stuff, so I'll try and get those in place. So that's the fan. Screwed in. So let's see what's next. So we have to plug this into the main board. Instructions are not very clear exactly where you should put the but it's on the 5-volt delivery pins, so I'm going to actually have to no wait, look, look, they had an extra page. It was actually I missed this. You can actually open it up. Is there a better picture of the cooling fan? How should it be installed? No, there's no help for that. But it does show the pins where you need to plug it in better. So, now that's installed. I did have a bit of problem with it. Depending on how you orientate this, then the one pin will actually get stuck on the other one. So nice to see. Maybe I should turn them like around once. Ah, that looks better. So it actually does matter in what orientation you put these in, so they don't jam each other. But anyway, now that's in place. Should be the right pins. Next, once the cover on. And then the ends. Just make sure. I think I'll put this end on first, and that's for the. Make sure that comes down for the memory cord. So I'm going like here. So it has to be like that. Okay. because this got a bit twisted, so I'm gonna have to actually take it up and work it into place. Anyway, that's snapped into place quite nicely, and then it's just the four screws in place. So it seems to be squared. So that's the other end. And it'll be the same procedure. Get it the right way around to try and work that into place. This was the end that got a bit more damaged than the other. Whoops. It probably won't do that if you get your own, because, as I said, this one was twisted in transport. And it'll probably be more easier to get those end bits in place. So, done. And it was this nice sticker they have. So that should be put on here. So, I'm changing the fan around, so switching the leads. Just have to make sure one doesn't block the fan. Oh, look at that. I don't think it has a protective foil on it. So, that looks pretty good. I have a few extra screws they provided just in case one loses. And then it's they provided like anti-slip feet. Is the last. And these are a couple of strips. It's underneath anyway, nobody will see it. So that's kind of nice and sturdy. So that's how you make your Raspberry Pis. Raspberry Pi 3 Happier. See, nice aluminium case. Active cooling. You could also do You know, there are more advanced boxes than this that have thermal pads on the electronics and stuff, but this is actually better than nothing. Cool up there. And then 2.5 amp power supply. And then it will actually, this combination will probably prevent it from throttling. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one.